My name is Beatrix Santiago, and I am here to share a journey that has forever altered my life, my faith, and my understanding of what lies beyond. It began on a night much like any other. For months, I had been struggling with a profound spiritual crisis. I was a missionary, known for my unwavering faith, yet deep within me, a void had grown. My prayers felt hollow, my connection to God distant, and my once burning passion for His work had dwindled into a flicker. That night, overwhelmed by doubt and despair, I knelt by my bed and prayed like never before. It was not the prayer of a steadfast believer, but a desperate plea. God, if you're still here, show me. I closed my eyes, tears streaming down my face, and waited. I expected silence. Instead, I was thrust into an experience that defied everything I thought I understood about life and eternity. When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in my room, at least, not in the way I had known it. My body was still there, lying motionless on the bed, but I was above it, floating, watching myself from a perspective that sent a chill through my very soul. I could see every detail, my face serene yet lifeless, the room bathed in the soft glow of the bedside lamp. Panic surged through me. Am I dead? Is this a dream? What is happening? Before I could comprehend, a voice resonated around me. It was neither male nor female, and yet it was unmistakably powerful. "It is time for you to see," it declared, its tone filled with both authority and an indescribable peace. I tried to respond, but no words would come. Then, without warning, I was pulled into a force unlike anything I had ever experienced. The room dissolved around me, replaced by a suffocating darkness. It was not merely the absence of light, but a presence, alive, heavy, and oppressive. I felt its malice, its intent to consume. Shadows moved within it, taking shapes that seemed to shift between grotesque forms and formless voids. I tried to scream, but my voice was stolen by the suffocating silence. Then, in the distance, I saw it, a faint light, no larger than a pinprick. It grew brighter as I was drawn toward it, the force pulling me relentless and unstoppable. My fear grew with every moment, but so did an inexplicable sense of hope. The light seemed to offer a reprieve from the darkness that sought to devour me. When I finally reached it, I found myself standing at the threshold of a vast, desolate expanse. It was a place I can only describe as hell. The ground beneath me was cracked and blackened, emanating heat that scorched the air. The horizon stretched endlessly, filled with ash and fire. And the screams, they pierced the atmosphere, cries of agony and despair that seemed to echo for eternity. Before me stood countless souls. Some were chained, bound to the ground by glowing, molten links that seared their flesh. Others wandered aimlessly, their faces etched with torment and regret. Each step they took seemed to deepen their suffering. The air was thick with a stench I cannot describe. Sulfur and decay mixed with something far more putrid, as if the very essence of despair had a smell. As I watched, I realized that each soul bore the marks of their choices. A man, hunched under the weight of a pile of gold, staggered forward. The coins melted and burned, fusing into his skin, yet he refused to let them go. Nearby, a woman stood before a mirror that reflected not her image, but her deepest insecurities and vanities. She clawed at it, desperate to change what she saw, but her efforts only deepened her anguish. These scenes played out endlessly, each soul caught in a cycle of torment, tied to the very things they had pursued in life. Wealth, power, vanity, and hatred, all had led them here. And as I observed, I felt a chilling realization. This was not punishment inflicted by an external force. They had chosen this path, step by step, through their actions, their decisions, and their refusal to turn away from what had consumed them. Then I saw something that broke me. Among the tortured souls was a young boy, no older than 12. His face was streaked with tears, his small frame trembling as he clutched a broken toy. Around him were the shadows of adults, their voices harsh and condemning. "You'll never be enough," they hissed. "You'll never escape." The boy sobbed, his cries echoing into the void. I wanted to reach out to him, to hold him, to offer some comfort, but I couldn't move. Suddenly, the voice returned. "Do you see now?" it asked, reverberating through the darkness. This is what happens when hearts turn away, when they choose the world over the truth, when they reject the light. Tears streamed down my face as the weight of the revelation bore down on me. This place was not a punishment handed down by a cruel deity. It was the natural consequence of lives lived without surrender, without repentance, without love. And then, just as despair threatened to consume me, another light appeared. It was brilliant, pure, and filled with an overwhelming sense of peace. It cut through the darkness, dispelling the shadows, silencing the screams. From within it emerged a figure I recognized instantly. Jesus. He radiated an authority that made the darkness retreat in fear, yet his eyes were filled with compassion. He extended his hand toward me, and without hesitation, I reached for it. The moment our hands touched, I felt a warmth that penetrated every fiber of my being. It was as if every doubt, every fear, every burden I had carried was lifted in an instant. "You are not alone," he said, his voice both tender and firm. "You are here for a reason." He began to lead me, guiding me away from the desolation and into a place of unimaginable beauty. The air was filled with a melody, soft and harmonious, as if the very essence of creation was singing. The ground beneath my feet was lush and vibrant, each blade of grass shimmering with life. The sky above was a tapestry of colors I had never seen, and the light that surrounded us was warm and welcoming. "This," Jesus said, gesturing to the expanse before us, "is the restoration I offer. For those who choose to turn back, who surrender their hearts, there is always hope." I wanted to stay in that place forever, but he turned to me with a look of both love and urgency. "You have a mission, Beatrix," he said. "What you have seen, you must share. Time is short, but my grace is infinite. Go and tell them, warn them, show them that the path to life is through surrender, through faith, through love." In an instant, I was back in my room, gasping for breath. My body ached, my heart raced, but my spirit felt renewed. I knew I could not keep this experience to myself. It was a message meant to be shared, a call to action for anyone willing to listen. This is my testimony. Hell is real, but so is hope. And no matter how far you've strayed, no matter how lost you feel, there is always a way back. All it takes is a choice. Will you make it?